Hello everyone, it's Aaron, your friendly Goliath, chaotic cohort, and your favorite nerd. As always, I'm here with just a quick few announcements before we get into the show. First, if you like what you hear and you want to help us grow, increase our quality, and create more and more often, be sure to head over to our Patreon page. We have a new challenge we've offered up, where if we raise $1,000 before the end of August, we will take the team on a trip to Spain, where we will rent out a castle and live stream some D&D content there, among many other shenanigans. So, if you're interested in that, be sure to join our Patreon. Secondly, we appreciate all the love and support we have received from you, and we ask that you continue that by sharing. Share our podcast, share our studio name and all the content we create, such as Chucky Chicken. Share our Patreon, share everything you can about us. We grow best by word of mouth, so you sharing is actually the quickest way for us to grow. Share with the hashtag 10away, and you will be entered into a chance to have a NPC named after you living eternally in our D&D game. Thirdly, we are attempting streams now on Twitch while we record. It's a learning process, but if you're interested in listening to me get incredibly pissed at my computer, check those out on twitch.tv/Valley Studios Gaming. We normally record on the first Sunday of every month, but we will actually have a recording this upcoming Sunday, March 22nd, for those who want to join, as we actually won't be recording next month. I'm in my final semester of my master's, and I just need to focus on my project so I can graduate. Finally, don't forget, if you have fan art, questions, concerns, etc., hit us up via email at vs.valleystudios@gmail.com or on Twitter at Valley Studios or Facebook at Valley Studios Entertains. We would love to hear from you. Now, sit back, relax, and pull a chair up to the table.
Everybody, roll initiative.
Shravan created the most powerful weapon, and he called it the Sword of the Realm. It was believed that he took that sword and had it placed in his tomb with him for
So you
good.
came all the way in here to find me to wield this sword? That is so sweet of you.
Oh, in your dreams.
That's
I'm obviously the
understandable.
only one at this table capable of wielding this sword.
Those runes, they're a very ancient language, and I couldn't quite make it out, but I know if they were on this weapon and now they're on you, it's some type of powerful magic that occurred.
Hey, what's up, Abenar? Did you find the wench?
Follow me.
Daniel, this light comes into the room that was not there before.
The ray of frost.
She just screams, and you can see this discolorations on her leg.
Everybody, roll initiative.
Down Trainmer Trails.
Oh dear.
All right.
It's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
Okay, so as everybody gets there, as I said, there's a horse for each person. Adam quickly, asks for a boost to get up on his horse because it's a full-size horse, not one of his size.
I'll give you help, Adam, and I just pick him up and set him on the horse.
Backwards.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, totally backwards.
Thanks,
but
buddy.
I pick him up by the scruff, like the back of his shirts, and just set him up there. Yeah. And then I give him a little pat on top of his head. There you go. You look so cute up there.
I love how someone added the G thanks, buddy, like you would say it.
I did too.
I'm like, where did Mike come from?
Gee, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Man, that was really close.
It's almost like
Okay.
Zach's a voice actor.
Oh my God, guys, stop.
Looks like we do have Adam Goodbody here today.
Okay, so when everybody's loading up and getting on the horses, you do notice on the far side of the horses, they all have a little satchel, and in them has at least 3 days of rations and water.
Where's my inventory? There's
So,
my inventory.
how are you guys going to travel?
Probably on the horses.
Apparently.
Like in what order?
So
Do
hang
we
on.
want to just
Hey,
run?
Renault, are you walking like normal or no?
Do we want to just run this like we did while we were entering New Coneybury?
Yeah.
Me scouting out in front.
Yeah, it's what I was thinking. If you scout and I'll take the lead of the pact in behind you. You're scouting.
All right. Sounds like a plan then.
I'll ride in the back.
Oh, you running in the back of the line?
I'm all back of the bus and shit.
You don't want RJ behind you?
I'll take the paladin behind me.
That's literally what RJ... Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well,
Hey, RJ.
so
Daniel doesn't know who you are. Oh, I said, Daniel doesn't know
as
who you
you're
are.
leaving, you do have some people. You do have your people. You know, some of the people coming out, and the little kids coming out, waving goodbye as you're heading out, and Leo is off the thing, just waving you off. That way, you guys know where, like whereabouts to kind of return to come back into town, because the road does fork off and head into the tree line, into the forest just outside of town. So, Aim Noir, have you roll a perception check.
All right.
As you get not too far outside of town, maybe a few miles.
That is a 7.
Okay. Everything looks good. Like you don't see anything out of the norm. You don't see anything that looks like it might be overly risky or anything like that.
Okay.
A lot of the times when we're doing the traveling, like unless if you are specifically searching for something or looking for things, there'll be a lot of expedited travel.
Okay.
So when I do these perception checks, depending upon what you roll, is dependent upon whether it's going to be a prolong or immediate reaction. So
all right. So
as you guys are traveling, it's pretty uneventful day. I mean, it's fairly warm, but not too hot, and you do have to stop after a few hours just to give the horses a little break, because you can clearly tell that they are kind of slowing the pace down. And when you get to about midday, are you guys planning on stopping for a lunch or a midday lunch, or how are you guys planning, just riding straight through?
I'm pretty good as it is right now.
I said, do we have any idea, like, how long this ride would take us if we were to just ride straight through?
Nobody asked.
Okay.
And nobody is really super familiar with this portion of the Triboar Trail. Some of you have interacted with the town that you originally came from to head to New Corningberry, but not very many are. Like, I mean, M. Noir, you might have a rough idea that it might take a few days to get to the Star Meadow Hills, just based upon some of the travels that you've done for the guild.
Okay.
But other than that, you do not have exact distances and stuff like that.
Well, I'm getting hungry. We could pull over.
Yeah, it's probably going to be about 1 or 2 days, if I remember correctly. Let me check my handy notebook here. It doesn't look like I actually wrote it down at all.
Some gentle clapping comes from Nigel's direction.
I kind of deserve that.
Literally, your job on our team is the information gatherer.
I'll be better next time, all right?
Oh, yeah. If there is a next time, if we don't die out here.
Well, of course.
But if I could get another perception check from Enmar or anybody else, searching, or we specifically leaning on him.
That is a 8. Rude. Rude.
I don't see, and I don't even think I see the front of my horse.
So, you do notice, Nigel, that there is an individual along the tree line waving a little at you.
Nigel sighs a little bit, contemplating whether to acknowledge them or pretend that he didn't see them. All right, he ultimately. Yes, just quit waving. You over there, what do you need?
Okay.
Who's he talking to?
Agento, you see this gentleman walking out of the tree line.
I have no idea.
Nobody sees the person waving frantically at us.
Where exactly is that person, Nigel?
Nigel points towards the person in the tree line.
And he's coming out.
I see what looks like a small tree, and it's frantically waving in the wind.
Yes,
at least you can see that. I rolled
a gentleman. A gentleman does come walking out, and he approaches you. He has he has leather armor, a green hood with a cloak connected to it, and he's got a bow across his back with arrows coming out the top side of a slit in the cloak, and he is carrying a long sword on one hip and a dagger on the other as he comes walking out.
See, I told you he looked like a tree.
Nigel blinks.
Hello, traveler.
At that statement.
I assure you, I am not a tree.
Well, I see that now.
We have established the difficult questions.
My name is Mestin Durmark. I travel these woods. I saw you moving along as you were traveling from New Corningberry, and I don't venture into the city much. I was wondering if you had any potential wares for trade.
First off, may I ask how you spell your name, Sir Durmark?
Mestin, Mestin.
Oh, okay.
Durmark, Durmark.
All right, noted. You know I'm the note taker and all that stuff.
Sir, we are not merchants, we are adventurers. We have nothing we're willing to part with right now.
I do have. He puts his hand up and he reaches back underneath of his cloak and then pulls out. I got a substantial amount of furs from my hunting in the forest, and these are very, very well cared for. They've been skinned. You can't really tell exactly what animals they are, but that he does have a arm full of pelts. He's like, these would make great, modifications for your bedrolls and maybe even pillows.
I do like pillows. Hey, so you want to trade? Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Yes, I am looking for some potential wares. My equipment and items have been worn over the years that I've been using and the months. So I'm looking to get some new, but I really don't enjoy traveling into town.
Why?
People are assholes.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yes, you can.
I mean, he's not lying. People are assholes.
Nigel accepts that answer immediately.
5.
You accept it too.
Can I do an insight check on that as well?
I don't think there's anything really to be feared here.
Yeah. No, and it's just, people are assholes. And when they're in groups, people are bigger assholes. So I prefer to stay outside of. Aaron, something's off about this conversation.
Mm-hmm. I glare at Tanner.
Yeah, at the people are bigger assholes comment, Nigel just slowly pans toward his group.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. So
hey,
he looks.
Sorry, I was going to ask. Has he come all the way out to us?
Yes, he is. He is far enough outside the tree line. He is probably a good 30, 40 feet away from the tree line as he's walking.
Okay, so I want to have dismounted my horse and be like on his side between the, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be on the ground.
Yeah.
Since I knew something was kind of off, I was at least getting off my horse.
So when you make that slight turn, Nigel, he looks at you and like, a man who understands people.
Yeah,
a man of culture as well.
I wouldn't say that he's great at understanding people, but...
Says the giant talking rock.
I'm not...
I just would like to ask if you guys do have any spare weapons or maybe arrowheads or things like that I might be able to trade some of my... I do even have some cured meat, and that should last for your travel wherever you may be going.
You said he pulled out furs, like he has furs in both of his hands right now.
Yeah. No,
He's
just one arm. He put his left hand out to you to show that he was trying not to be threatening, and then he reached his hand back underneath of his cloak, ruffled around a little bit, and then pulled an armful of furs over his right arm.
Okay.
And then once his right arm comes out, he puts his left arm down, trying to be as less threatening as possible.
We could use some furs. Do we have anything we could actually do with parting with?
As much as people are assholes, we, generally speaking, even Nigel, though he won't admit it, he loves my company. We have a tendency to want to at least engage with other people. So where do you get your interaction with other people if you never go to town?
Things like this. Trading.
You literally just stand outside of New Coneyberry, hope someone walks by, and then say, "Hey, come have a conversation with me."
Oh no! Sometimes I'm over in the middle of the forest, and I'm in the pathway that runs through the forest to the different villages, and I interact with people in that one.
There's villages in the forest?
Yes, there is.
I didn't know that.
Is this a situation where I would...
The path, unless if you are attuned with nature and know which signs to avoid when animals are about.
Quick question, Dion. Is this a situation where I'd be able to stealth? Sneak away from the conversation while it's happening?
You could try. It'd be pretty difficult just because it's midday. But you could try because he is all on one side of the horses.
Okay. Then I'm going to attempt a stealth. I do have expertise in stealth, which doubles my proficiency.
Could I make the argument that I'm assisting by holding this guy in conversation?
Yes. I'll let him roll with advantage.
Okay. So
what furs exactly did those come from?
Yeah, I didn't need it. That's a 24.
Roll again anyway, see if you get that nat 20.
It's like, well, I have some deer skin.
24.
You easily can seek out. It's going to be difficult when you leave the area of the horses.
Okay.
Because big opens.
I would like to. How far is it to the tree line from here?
About, I'd say probably about 40 feet.
Okay, then I would like to. We're not in a combat, so movement speed isn't going to matter here. I would like to move toward the tree line and start inspecting the tree line as carefully as I can.
Okay. I'm going to need another stealth roll as you leave the area of the horses. With advantage still, because Rune is still distracted.
That is not a nat 20, but it is 20. And that's a 10, so 20.
Okay. So, the gentleman, he tells you that I have, as I said, deer skin. I do have some various different, spider furs, very, very weird animals. I have some beaver and some animals.
Which ones make the best pillows? Pillows.
Well, I mean, I would probably go with a deer skin one. Like you can pad up the interior fairly well. But the beaver pelts, those are so incredibly soft. They're just more difficult to turn into a pillow.
God. Okay. Would you want a trade for some dragon scales?
Oh, yes.
No.
What? Why?
Says Nigel.
Well, I'll look a nice soft pillow.
You're going to trade beaver skin for dragon scales.
Or the dragon scales aren't very comfortable to sleep on, are they?
Oh, Nigel just pinches the bridge of his nose.
I'll gladly give you some beaver skin and even one of the deer pelts for a few of your little dragon scales.
How do you know they're little?
Rune,
What?
let me give you a lesson in mercantile.
Okay. I'll look lessons.
If he is drooling at the offer you just gave him, this is a bad trade.
All right.
Oh, I think it's a fair trade. I'm giving him something he wants to use, and he's giving me something that I would like to try.
I want to look at him. Is he drooling?
He is not drooling, but he does have a very, very nice smile on his face.
He does look friendly, though, Nigel.
Fine. Nigel recuses himself from the conversation.
Roll at investigation.
Me?
No, Amron.
All right. 7.
Everything looks good in that tree line. So if you want to trade,
I would like to keep moving a little further into the tree line.
Okay.
Dion, what kind of role would you want me to make? I want Nigel to kind of assess this situation. We've been stopped outside of town from a strange man with daggers and weapons on him who's trying to trade. Zach has a feeling, but what would Nigel have to roll to start piecing this together?
It's an insight.
Insight.
Because
okay.
you're trying to assess his behaviors and his talk and the mannerisms and things like that he's doing to see if he is on the up and up or he's trying to screw you over or something like that.
Can I make one check before that? Can I make a perception check to see if it looks like somebody has been robbed here on this spot before we were?
Absolutely.
And I would it be perception or investigation for me in the tree line right now?
In the tree line, that was the investigation. So like if you're moving in further and moving slowly while you're looking around, it would be an investigation.
Okay.
Perception's just like a tertiary glance around.
7.
So Nigel, with a perception of 19, you can see what looks like might have been like large amounts of horse, like animals being like trampled around, and you do see some broken, like maybe some arrow tips and things like that on the ground, but like it's really hard to tell if there's been like large amounts of blood spilled or anything like that. You really don't see any of that, and that's probably because of the weather and the air that could easily just wash away stuff and things like that.
Sure.
Hey, why don't you you pulled out some of those first, but what else have you got? If you just want to like lay it out, I'm just kind of curious what all you've got for trade. Sorry, go ahead.
I do have the first, and I mean, I guess I could show you some of the other things, like, and he'll reach back and he's got some, a couple of antler horns. He's like, I usually use these with my hunting. And
so here's my question: as he's reaching back and showing me stuff, is he by any chance is he kneeling to like lay stuff down to show me, or no?
Yeah, he'll kneel to put the furs down that were on his arm. He'll kneel down to do that, and then he will stand up and reach back and pull out a handful of different things that he uses for hunting.
Right. So to be clear, because my insight with the 21, like I knew something was up, I'm using this conversation to obviously keep him distracted. While he kneels down, he's not watching me. Can I do a scan as well through the trees to make sure everything is...
Yes, absolutely.
And that's investigation?
Yes.
Nope.
May
So, Nigel, as he's getting down on the ground, you do see when he pulls out some of the trinkets and stuff like that, you notice that some of the things in his hands look like they're carved from bones. Like some of the tools that he's saying he uses for hunting, just because of how just like white they are, and like just how clear and not clear, but like how just pristine condition they are. Like they've been hand carved.
You said you use those for hunting?
Yes, like setting traps, putting out little little ways to hold up meat, so I might be able to catch an animal
Yes,
within
absolutely.
a hang.
It looks like it's gotten a lot of action, doesn't it, Nigel?
It's sloppy work to hang that meat. It's putrid, really. Those look awfully clean.
I'm very meticulous with my equipment.
Mm.
I am not a blacksmith, so my arrowheads, I'd rather not use bone tipped arrowheads, just because I don't feel that they're going to work as effectively as the metal ones that I would normally get from a blacksmith.
Absolutely. You'd fail to score a kill with a bone tip, possibly.
Exactly, sir.
Just kind of like the ones that are broken around here. What happened here a moment ago, shall we say, or a time ago, rather?
I mean, this is a trade road. There are bandits.
Are there?
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that you're here to protect us from those bandits.
I'm not going to protect you from those bandits. I'm here for trade.
And the bandits leave you alone.
Well, while this is happening, I would like to continue my investigation checks.
Okay.
So I'm going to move just a touch further into the tree line and see if there's anything I can figure out. Okay. That's a 6! That's a 6!
Okay, so you are a good probably 20, 30 feet in the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
And this is a something that as you're moving around, you're moving very, very slow, and you are getting further away from the conversation to where you can't see or hear your allies.
At this point, I'm going to start heading back toward the caravan, fairly satisfied that I'm not going to find anything right now.
Okay. Well, and like, it's not necessarily a caravan, it's just the 6 of you on horseback.
However, I'm not coming back through the path that I took in. I'm going to cut down a little bit more south because I was heading in from a northwest angle. So I'm going to come down from a bit more like southwest.
Okay. So,
continuing to search as I go.
As you are you moving quickly, or are you still?
I'm going to continue to search as I go.
Okay.
So
that is much better. Okay. That's an 18.
And then I need you to do another roll too. Same thing. This one's perception. Sorry, perception.
Okay. That is a 12.
Okay. So, with the 18, as you're looking around and stuff like that, and you're slowly getting towards the edge to head out, you notice footprints.
Do I recognize them at all?
That's going to be a survival.
All right. All I cast a +1. Let's see what happens. That's actually good. At 11.
Okay. I mean, it's large feet, much bigger than yours, but you're not sure exactly what type of creature that would. But they are wearing boots. You do not see toes.
Okay. Would I be able to narrow that down to possibilities?
I mean, that's the best you can get because you know that they're wearing shoes.
Okay.
As opposed to not wearing shoes. So that can, I mean, there's a lot of assumptions that can be made from that would possibly be correct.
Okay.
Now, when you exit the tree line, if you're not going to just walk out, I'm going to need you to also do another stealth check as you're heading out.
I will do that. That's a nat 20.
Yep.
That's my first 20.
So, as you guys are still talking, Nigel, he looks at you and he's just like that. Like I'm not going to doubt that there are bandits along this trade road. It's long and it could be very dangerous. But I'm also not going to let you believe on some strange pretense that I'm going to just automatically help you because bandits are attacking.
Mm.
If you don't want to trade, I understand. Like I saw people on the road. it looked like you might be slowing down. I didn't know if you were going to have a midday meal or do something with your lovely horses. But I absolutely do not want you under the assumption that I am going to protect you.
So, Nigel's going to try to weasel out a little bit of intention here from him. He's just going to tell him that, look, what's the real deal going on here with you? You don't have to. You can drop the pretenses. We can drop ours. We're just a humble adventuring group looking for a little more coin, and I think that you are too. Perhaps we could help each other. Can I roll the deception check?
Wait! Where are you going? I got a great story to...
Oh, what's wrong, Adam?
Huh? Oh, nothing, Rune. Nothing.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
No, I don't want it. It's silly.
Tell me.
I just want to spread the story of my idol, the great Eron, to others, but no one wants to listen.
That makes sense.
I just wish there was a way that I could reach a bunch of people at once and...
What if I told you there actually was a way to reach a bunch of people at once?
There is?
Yeah. It's called a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know about a podcast, okay? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, how do you record an episode? How do I get my show on all the apps that people listen to? And if you're helping, there's definitely going to be a charge. How do I make money from my podcast?
Oh, that's actually the easy bit. It's called Anchor. You see, Anchor's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. Even you can master it, unlock telling the difference between a long bow and a long sword. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this here ad.
Really? Wow. Being a sellout must be fun.
It's fantastic.
How do I get started?
You just go to anchor.fm/start. Easy peasy, dragon squeezy.
Nothing simple about squeezing a dragon.
That's just my name from my... Never mind. Just go to Anchor to create your podcast about the great Eron. I'm sure people will love it.
Will you subscribe to it, Rune?
No.
Wait, Rune? Where are you going?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, we'll get down to the brass tacks. So he takes his hand, he puts the items that he was pulling out, but he puts them away, scoops up the pellets, slides them, puts away. I am looking for some coin. I'm always looking for some coin. I'm always looking out for number one, and that is me. Now, I was assessing your group because there are some skills that I have that might be able to assist you. But, as I said, I'm not going to just throw my life out for you if someone comes to attack you. That's just ridiculous. I wouldn't expect you to do the same for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But, as I said, I do travel these woods plenty, and I do have information that I would be willing to sell.
What kind of
Sell, you say?
Yeah, sell. Like we were talking, I was talking trade before, but clearly it doesn't seem like any of you have any of the things that I am looking for.
You seemed awfully excited about dragon scales. I don't know how those would help you hunt.
Well, I would like to use them to make weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They do make quite good weapons, I say as I randomly appear right next to him.
You are not helping, Aminor.
Sorry, I was just checking the tree line.
He moves his head back and forth. When the hell did you get off your horse?
That's for me to know. We need to find out.
Why would you tell him your secrets? Don't let him find out.
And then he puts his hands up to his mouth, just gives this light whistle with his fingers, and then this very large wolf comes out and pads up next to him.
Does it have shoes?
Nope.
Roll perception to see if it has shoes.
You wouldn't know. I didn't tell you anything about that, Aaron.
I had
So, No, it comes up, and it is very big. Like, many of you have seen dogs, and like this thing is easily twice the size of probably the biggest dog that you have ever seen.
So compared to me, it looks like a normal sized dog.
Yes, actually, yes. Yes.
Oh,
Anybody
little puppy.
that hopped up and put its hands on it, little paws on their chest, it would knock over. It's like a dog coming up to pet. But he comes and he sits next to Meston and looks just right at him.
Uh-oh, here we
And
go
Meston
again.
puts his hand gently on his head and rubs his head a little bit. He's like, so,
Get up
I
at you,
have-
dog.
no, I have some skills, and I am more than able to sell some of the information that I've collected over the last couple months.
What kind of information are you selling?
The kind that is valuable?
That's not very specific. I need specifics here if we're going to do anything.
Yeah, if you're going to
Okay,
tell me
then-
that it's going to rain tomorrow, I don't need to know that.
Well, I
Well,
can give you
I
information about some of the creatures and animals that are roaming about that it would be best for you to look out for.
That would
So-
be somewhat helpful.
Nigel kind of drops his demeanor a bit. Says, "My good friend, I'm very sorry for any stress I've put you through this conversation. Surely you understand taking care of number one, just as I do. I can see now you're a very honest man. I appreciate all the help you've given us. Surely, though, this information that you have, would it not be better if these woods were safer for all of us? The chance for riches is far greater if we can make it through safely. We don't have many coin to offer you, but surely you can find the kindness in your heart to share with us." That's
Oh,
a 21 for persuasion.
Okay, well, that's even better. Like I was going to say with the previous thought, you're good, but yes, it's like,
Oh, wow. You're still going off the old deception?
yes, I was, because it's still the same conversation. Like, we're not changing much, but and you're not. It's not like you're overly asking for anything extravagant,
Mm.
and your success was very, very good. So, well, I tell you what, I'll give you some basic general, no specifics, because that's where the coinage comes in. There has been an abundance of orcs in the area. They have been, at least from my belief, that they have been pushed out of their home. Now, I'm not 100% certain. Oh, it is very unfortunate, because the animal that pushed them out of their home, I believe, is a large dragon, a white one.
I think we may have killed that, actually.
Oh, really?
Not to brag or anything, but we did take one down earlier.
Aemanor?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
So
s- can
first of all, you know how he's selling information. Sometimes it's best to keep certain things to ourselves.
Can I see those dragon scales that you said you had? I
No.
am not to take. I just want to see, because this will answer if you killed the dragon that I speak of.
I'm sure we did. I'll think it's necessary. Fine. I pull out one of the dragon scales.
Okay. As soon as he sees you reach out and you pull out, and it sets easily in your hand, he's like, "No, you killed its you killed its little hireling. He's the mentor."
I was really
Oh.
afraid of
Oh
that.
dear.
It's like,
Scary white
I
dragon.
do not envy you at all.
Oh
I
no.
would get rid of those. I would get rid of those as soon as possible. The last thing you want to do is have this mentored dragon smell or sense any of its associate upon you, because he very well could try to kill you and slowly hunt you down, picking you off one by one.
Okay. I reach back and put it back in my bag of holding.
And how do you suggest that we dispose of these dragon scales to obviously protect ourselves from the wrath of the dragon?
Well, I don't want them. I did until I found out what you guys had done and accomplished. Congratulations. Slow clapping.
That did not take the turn I thought it would.
You've caused yourself some pretty rough time. Well, as I said, I do not want them anymore. I would burn them or dispose of them.
Would that even work?
Burning them? Absolutely. Everything has a burning point, I'm assuming.
Well, we do have Tanner here, so... I don't know who Tanner is. Daniel.
You are a master wordsmith, Aminor.
He's super good at words. Like, always thought I was bad with words, and then I met Daniel. What's your name? Aminor.
Leave me out of this.
You're still here? I thought you left already.
I'm always here.
With that information, I gave you a bit more than the nice, polite information that I previously had said I was going to do. I bid you adieu. I'm going to head back into the tree line and get the hell away from your party.
So that is probably the smartest reaction I've seen anyone have to us yet.
But it's so much less fun.
As he turns to walk back into the tree line, I need everybody to do a perception check.
Nat 20.
Rune's eyes are on fire.
17.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Everything.
So
14.
Rune, you and Agentum and Amonor all see a small red plotch of fur on the side of this, on the side of the dire wolf that is walking alongside him.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like blood. It's a like a reddish tint that you might see in somebody's hair, but it's the only spot. It doesn't make a specific shape or anything like that. It's just a large grouping of red hair on his back, left hind side.
Okay.
It's an odd space for that.
I have a question.
So,
not to metagame this. Would Rune, though, having spent 5 years out exploring and stuff, I'm assuming he would have come across druids at some point.
Druids and rangers, both of them are very like woody and forest oriented.
Mm-hmm.
It could be either one, but usually druids aren't. They're not as expected to carry long swords and daggers and things like that because they're more oriented towards the forest. So they'll use.
I was wondering if Rune would, in his exploration and stuff, would have ever seen a druid use, was it beast shape?
And probably not.
No. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah,
I should have
probably
made that
not.
clear.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's a clear question.
All right.
So, being that everybody's already at a stop, is this where you guys want to do a rest to eat and stuff, or do you want to continue on?
So I want to know something too. Sorry. The other side of the map, what we're seeing. So we have the trees on one side. Is that like hills behind us?
Yes, like small hills heading into like the Sword Mountain range.
Okay. You guys want to maybe take a little bit of a break up on top one of those hills?
Where do you suppose these orcs are, though? Where do you think they might be habitating?
I would imagine out in the woods. That's what he made sound like. That's why I want to get.
How do you suppose he's safe from the orcs?
That, though. Well, he does have a direwolf with him. Although I'm not entirely sure it's a direwolf, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Could be something. Could we be dealing with lycanthrope? Possibly.
You what?
Lycanthrope. Werewolf.
Your first assumption is it could not possibly be a large wolf. It must be a werewolf.
There was a small splotch of red hair that you didn't see.
It was on his left
That was
hind
on
side.
the left hind side. It didn't look like it was bloodstained, though.
Yeah, it
Of
looked
the
like
man?
no of the. Okay, I'll be honest. Not that you caught me. I was looking at his posterior too, but no, of the wolf.
Point being, if we can just get back on track here, do we trust any of these resting grounds not to be swarming with orcs?
I'll don't if we stay close to the trees. That's what I was thinking. If we move up a little bit on the high ground, and so we can kind of watch, but we're a little bit away and we have the high ground on it.
Well, that sounds good to me if it works for all of you.
I'd say we should probably do that. It would work better than what we're currently working on.
All right. I jump on my horse and kind of lead it up into the hills a little bit. Just like I said, I just want to give us some high ground so that we're away from the tree line. Maybe like 50 yards, 100 yards up.
Okay. So like you can easily get on a little bit into the into some of the mountain and get a little bit higher so you can kind of oversee things. But as you start going in, you do see there's larger mounds, there's more things. So like while you're higher than the base ground and the tree line, there's still more spots that are easily put where is above you.
Yeah. And these where we're at right now, because we're not in the mountains, we're just on hills, right? Right now.
Yes.
So there's not like a way. There's not like a hill that like kind of like like almost like a cavern into another hill. Does that make sense? Kind of like down at Sinisippi Park, right? You know how like if you go under the bridge and you go to the right, how that hill kind of builds up and then it kind of caverns into the hill above it.
Yeah, like that. Nothing to that extent. It's more along the lines of like there's like hills and then there's like enough where you might be able to walk in between the two hills, but nothing to that large of extent until you start getting further towards the mountain range.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to do that necessarily.
Yeah,
okay.
And there's there is no pathways leading into there. It's more along the lines of actual just like the grassland and plains and stuff like that. Nothing to that extent where you're going to be able to say, no, this is a small path that we can actually safely take.
And would I be able to find us like a hill or a mound within that area that I said that I would be like, I would deem like, yep, this is it. This is a good spot for us to spend an hour or whatever. Yes, because there is spots where you can easily say, this will hold all the horses, this will hold us, and we would be able to safely have, view out in front of us over the land and the trees if anything comes out of it. All right. Wow. But you're still going to have risks behind you because there are still things that are higher. So. Right. All right. Well, so I identify that area and lead the way to it. So while we sit here and rest, do we want to kind of like keep a 360 lookout, including someone trying to look up, though it's not ideal?
I vote one of us goes up to the highest point that we can see in the general vicinity so that we have full area coverage and can actually see people coming. All right.
How far up would that highest point be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's rough because once you start going further and further up, you end up exposing yourself to, having to make those checks because the hills are starting to get a bit steeper and there's more loose rocks and once you see him start to maneuver around, Aaron, you will know because of your history and where you grew up that this is the safest one for the horses and your party without putting you at risk of falling to get hurt or anything like that.
All right. I mean, well, like what you're saying, I think this is going to be the best spot for us. If we don't want to get too separated either, because God forbid something be up higher than us. You're by yourself, and you get up there by yourself, and it might be a spot for you to stand, but there's nowhere else for the rest of us.
Well, I was intending for it to be just like a simple watchtower like location.
Yeah, but it's still going to keep you separated from us.
Okay, then I'll stay closer by.
All right, so I guess we're chilling for. We don't need to chill for too long. We really just need to let the horses kind of regain their breath and maybe take a little snacky poo.
Yeah, like let them rest, and they are gonna get some water and stuff like that. Like, and as I said, it's not incredibly hot. It's just, they're traveling. They've got equipment that they're carrying, and then on top of what
and my fat ass.
And on top of what you guys have been doing and stuff like that, like it's just a way for you to kind of manage and work with them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we take whatever time we need, I guess, and then press on.
Okay. So, as you guys are coming off of the hill and you start to head back towards the trade route road, are you traveling in the same order?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to scout ahead.
That's what I figured. Yep. Okay. So I need you to do another perception check.
Yeah. Hopefully rolls can actually be somewhat decent this time. And I rolled a 19.
Hey. So, with that check, you do notice some movement in the tree line as you guys start moving again.
Okay.
But he's too far ahead to actually say anything to us, right? Because he usually stays 40 to 50 feet ahead.
Yes. I mean, if you're wanting to, it's not hard for you to get back to them, but you do notice that as you're traveling ahead.
I'm gonna stealth into the tree line, see if I notice anything, and just camp out. Good point. Did anything about the movement in the tree line pop out to me as being something that needs to be investigated?
I mean, it looks like there's multiple figures.
Okay.
And from what you saw, it kind of seems like they're paralleling you.
Okay.
But you can't make a clear thing because they're far enough into the tree lines where you can't clearly see what it is, but you do know that there is more than 2 or 3 figures.
Okay, so I am going to slow my pace. Very, this would probably be sleight of hand, would be my guess. Very cautiously slow my pace and prepare a couple daggers just in case.
Okay. So, you easily can do that. I'm not going to have you make a roll because you can kind of palm the daggers into your one hand as you're riding the horse along, because there's plenty of space for you to kind of hide it.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away though. Just going to let the rest of everyone else catch up.
What's going on?
Over in the tree line, there seems to be a handful of figures paralleling us, maybe shadowing us.
All right.
Who's all in earshot of that statement he just said?
It should be all of us, because he said he waited for us to catch up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Can I take a look around then and add a perception check?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
22.
All right. So, Nigel, as you're kind of peeking over there, glancing as you guys are riding and very nonchalantly looking, you can clearly see there are at least 6 creatures, and I need you to make a nature or not nature, or survival. Sorry, survival check.
15.
Yeah, these are orcs.
Damn.
Well, we found the orcs then.
All right. So they're keeping pace right now. They're not moving towards us, and because we're still slowly moving forward while we're doing this, right?
Yes.
We haven't stopped. Okay. Well, I guess I can't see them. I only rolled a 12 on my perception.
So Nigel kind of squints a little bit, looks in the trees, and goes, "Well, shit," and starts pulling out his, in a very non-English accent, borderline Western accent, he says, "Oh, shit." I just screwed up that voice very badly.
Where'd you get that one from?
Nigel readies his rapier and says, "Well, we've got orc-like company now."
Whoa. It doesn't look like they've noticed us yet. Let's be a little more stealthy here.
What do you recommend?
Nigel looks at Rune.
Oh, Josh, I'm ready to fight.
Stealthy doesn't work for some of us, Amin.
Well, for some of us, but last I checked, the two of us are the stealthy people.
I could be stealthy, and I'm going to try and stealth to the I'm just going to try and stealth to the opposite.
Oh God, no!
Okay, roll at disadvantage there, Rune.
Oh, you dropped a 16. Oh.
Did you see me move to the other side?
So yeah, like you plop down and you guys see this very large, hulking Goliath almost tiptoeing around.
I'm so stupid, you're gonna know.
He looks like an oversized child when they try to sneak around to do something.
We're talking like hands up in the air, right? Like the hands up in the air, walking
yeah.
by toes.
Yes, like up by they're up by your chin and you're sneaking on your trying to go around.
Going around him. I'm literally going sneak.
Every orc instinctively turns around and looks at you.
So,
I call that step the Rachel step.
Nigel, I want you to know that you no longer see the orcs.
Well,
and Amador, you also have lost track of the orcs.
I'm going to perception check to see if I can find them again.
Yeah, okay. You both can try to look again, but you like that.
Pretty sure they're gone.
11.
That they are.
What?
Yeah, you do not see the orcs in the tree line. You do not see the movement in the tree line. Either they stopped paralleling you, or they moved further into the forest, or you're not sure, but you don't see them anymore after Rune's amazing. Everybody.
Halfway through our first day on the road, and already we have met a hunter and his wolf that seem to be more than they appear. And we've been trailed by orcs that seemingly disappeared after Rune's amazing display of stealth. Are they gone for good, or are we about to become their next meal? Find out next time on the 10